Welcome to Framework Fortune. I'm your host, Ben, and we've got our co-host, Station H Trader, in the building, and we are here again to expose the truth of these financial markets and the craziness that is HKD, the 25,000% runner over this past 5 days. H, if you want to take it from there.
Yes. So, starting from the charts, these insane charts from $50 all the way up to 2,550 something dollars. Do you not understand, bro? The power behind this move was insane. This was market makers getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah,
They,
this was
because
something powerful, like you said, like you're
yeah,
pointing out.
Because think about it, in a range, market makers want to have a support and a resistance where they can make money in a specific range. This thing took lives of market makers. Now, it may have took lives of the retail traders as well, but the big fish got hurt, the small fish got hurt, and there were some people that just bought and walked away that made money.
It seems like there's definitely something more sinister than this. We noticed this play, I believe somebody, was it Lori who called this out a week
Yep.
ago?
Yep.
And it was really weird. That first rip only had that 2 million in volume, and it doesn't seem like that big of a deal looking at the chart now after all this crazy massiveness. But this run was from $20 up to $70 off of only 2 million in volume. And it's IPO'd at $12. This one day, that's a humongous run for that little amount of volume.
Also, this IPO was supposed to open up at about $7.60, I believe. It actually got its very first trade at $13, which was insane. The first person that got in there to put a trade in was at $13.
Yeah,
So
so
somebody knew something.
oh yeah, and we know who the people are who knew something, or at least we can point you in the right direction with a breadcrumb trail. You know.
Zoom into the 15 minute. This thing, Lori called this out, like he said, a week ago when it got its original pop. Because it had no news or catalyst, it really didn't fall into a lot of people's like, hey, let's go trade this list. Because pretty much on the first day that it traded, it took it all day to even get close to just a million shares traded.
Yeah.
It struggled to even get 250,000 shares traded on it. And
Mm-hmm.
but the range didn't struggle. Every time it reached a new high, new resistance, it was just blowing through it.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those moves where it was like, is this a psychological play? Is this
No.
what kind of play is this moving it through the
Well,
charts? Cause go ahead.
we know it wasn't FOMO because the volume, right? With FOMO,
Hmm.
you're going to have tons of people coming in, so that's going to reflect with tons of volume. I mean, this candle here from 1,000 up to 1,400 is only, what is that, 8,000, 9,000 in volume. Another thing I noticed too was look at all the buying volume before the rip, and then now somebody's been buying up all the shares before this rip, and they made this float super tiny. But you see the volume was a lot bigger back here, and still it wasn't enough volume for people to notice on their scanners, because even these top spikes, 200,000 on one candle. So not a lot of volume on the day while all of this buying was going on. Enough to fly under the radar. But this is the opposite on this volume profile of what we should be seeing right now, according to this chart. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. It just doesn't. The thing is, like you said, they decreased the float on this thing. On paper, on what was visible to retail traders that use like the free stuff, it all
Mm-hmm.
looked like it was high float. All looked like it was just like, oh, this thing is crazy high float, and then it moves like it's 1 million shares in the volume in the
Yeah.
float.
Yeah.
or
Well,
less.
I was gonna say not even a million. Like, it moves like there's 5,000 shares in the float.
Yeah.
So we'll hop over here into some of these articles that you've got, and we're starting with the Business Wire. What'd you find here?
This right here scared me today. When I saw that news pop up that they had a thank you note to investors, and not only that, it scared me because they said we don't know why we went up. We just thank the investors and blah blah blah. I was like, oh my goodness, this is about to be a Sigma. Because I mean, that's just scary. Like, think about a company going up this much that hasn't produced any value. People are investing on not even an idea. There's not even these people don't even have an idea of why this went up. They're just like, oh, thank you. We're about to drop the hammer.
Well, they know why. They know exactly why this is going up. The company themselves are connected to the World Econ Forum, which we'll talk about here shortly, and I'll actually show you where they're connected at
Exactly.
and
And
how
see
crazy
that
this
price.
is.
The price that it was supposed to originally open up there is
Yeah,
780.
780. Yeah.
I mean, think about a drop back to that price.
Oh gosh. When that happens, well, see, here's the thing: they've already loaded up on all the floats, so anybody who's gotten in, especially now, like maybe some bigger institutions, or not bigger, but big institutions that are not in this certain group of institutions,
Hmm.
they go in buying these shares at $1,000, and then they get a rug pull. This could destroy whatever institutions that would do that, right? Like this could be a
Yeah.
massive rug pull on not retail traders, an
Ah,
actual attack on something. I mean, this is too. When you see who is behind all this, they don't care about the retail traders. I can tell you
yeah.
that right now.
I highly doubt that I really believe the institutions will be more short bias on this one than anything. Seeing it go
No,
up with no
yeah,
reason.
yeah, I agree with you. I'm saying specifically institutions that were not in the know of what was going on with this stock. It's like when you say institutions, they're not all together. There's it's basically split in half, and I'll show you guys the half here in just a minute that I'm talking about. And
Mhm,
AMTD, HKD is in that half. They're in the know, the who, like you were saying in the last video.
mhm.
It's not about what you know, but who you know.
Yeah. The other thing that I was noticing today was that HKD was ripping and AMTD was going the opposite direction. It was down almost 40%. HKD is a subsidiary of AMTD. So they're like a little break off of AMTD. But
Mm.
what people were thinking on I'm wondering if the people that had were holding AMTD saw A or HKD and were like, "Oh my goodness, that's a better investment. Let's drop this and go over there," is what I'm wondering.
Well,
Because they said that it had like it was like a HKD was kind of like a metaverse play,
yeah.
a Chinese metaverse play, and they were like, "Hey, this is a big thing, whatever it may compete with, whatever." And I was looking at it today. I was like, "There's no way these two." At first, they were correlating. HKD when it went up, AMTD was going up, and then all of a sudden they lost correlation. AMT started to dive.
Well, so you can
And I
see
was
right there.
like,
That's shenanigans right there. That usually doesn't
yeah,
happen.
exactly. I was like, that's it doesn't make sense. They're the same in the same company.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, bro. This is not right.
Yeah, the thank you note, anytime a company sends you a thank you note to investors, I mean, like there's really nothing else to say about that. I'm so glad you pointed this out to anybody. Anytime you see this, no matter what the stock is, you probably
When do
want
we ever
to.
see
Yeah.
this?
Thanks, guys, for pushing our stock up to $3,000 from a $7 IPO.
Oh man. The third line there is what I was referring to with the metaverse play.
Yeah, it's a metaverse play, all right. It's definitely a metaverse play. We're gonna get into the website and I'm gonna show you. It's not the decentralized crypto blockchain type of metaverse that I push for. This is going to
Hmm.
be more of along the lines of Keanu Reeves dodging bullets backwards type of metaverse.
Look at what's bolded right there.
Well, I was about
How
to
in the
say, I was about to say when when the news article's putting out WTF because the stock ran 30,000%. You know the FOMO on this play right now of everybody who did not get in this thing in the beginning or like at any point in time when it's been ripping. Like,
just look at the first paragraph here. Read through it. I'll read it. We're
okay,
going to establish the number one most important thing right out of the gate. Before we get into this situation, this is about as high risk as stocks get. This
yeah.
stock just IPO'd, is based in a foreign country, and has run 30,000% in 2 weeks on very low volume. Translation, please, please, please do not read this and conclude, wow, what a great stock. What a great stock that I should definitely buy. That is absolutely not what we're saying here.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. That you should absolutely not touch this thing.
Yeah.
So
I can
right
see
there, yeah, what they
Daniel B
do.
adding this one to his Bible.
Oh gosh. So what they do, they're a Hong Kong-based investment banking company, and then the AMTD SpiderNet is the
Mhm,
digital platform that they've created, and this is the metaverse reference ecosystem, and it's
mhm.
it's currently mostly used by fintech startups and internet influencers. Now, I'd be curious to see who's using that, but that's not really going to be the part that's reflecting all of this crazy movement. The part that's going
Yeah.
to be reflecting all this crazy movement is who is behind this crazy movement.
This was
Yeah.
another thing I forgot to say. So it back in 2019, AMTD was one of the first Chinese companies to make it onto, I believe, the NYSC.
They had a tweet too. They said HKD is currently the 45th largest stock in the world by market cap. This does not happen by accident. You know, it's now larger than McDonald's, Verizon, Disney, Adobe, Nike, UPS, Qualcomm, AMD, Intel, Morgan Stanley. And this is what I was saying. This is bigger than just some type of normal institution pump and dump or something like this. So,
So this is another one of my articles from Investors Business Daily. Dow Jones falls amid Pelosi's Taiwan visit. AMTD digital stock explodes. Nancy Pelosi Taiwan visit angers China. So stocks closed off highs amid a headline grabbing visit by Speaker Pelosi to Taiwan. She is the highest ranking U.S. official in a quarter of a century to visit the island. Chinese media reported the People's Liberation Army sent an unspecified number of Russian made Su 35 fighter planes over the Taiwan Strait in a show of force. China has also taken action against the island, suspending imports from Taiwanese companies producing pastries, baked goods,
you know,
and sweets.
you can't get a cupcake in Taiwan right now, bro.
Can't get a cupcake because of Pelosi.
Oh, actually,
So
it's
the
imports from Taiwan, so you can't get a cupcake from you can't get a Taiwanese cupcake
Yeah,
in China.
um, longer term ratifications of the visit remain to be seen, though Oanda senior market analyst Edward Moya said there could be economic impacts. China's response to Pelosi's trip to Taiwan could have an impact on supply chains and demand, which could keep inflationary pressures going strong, he said in a note to clients. Traders are starting to bet that the Fed won't take rates much above neutral.
Which we've been saying the inflation's not going down, and if they couldn't raise interest rates a whole point this last
Mhm.
time, then they can't raise them anymore. So that's the same thing that we've been talking about. But before you even say what you got to say about this, I want to point out there is no reason that one old drunk lady Xanaxed out of her mind should be this powerful just because she wanted to go and have one of these amazing Taiwanese cupcakes with her bottle of Chardonnay, or whatever she drinks. Just because of that, it can have an impact on supply chain demands. If you're telling me that babies are not getting baby formula while Nancy Pelosi is eating Taiwanese cupcakes, guys, you need to wake up because there's some problems going on right now. Okay?
Exactly. And this is why I said this was going to lead into your point of powerful people and
Yep.
who you know. So take it away.
All right. So when HKD was first brought to my attention by Lori, I went and looked up their website, and a couple of things I noticed right away. One, they successfully secured a virtual banking license granted by the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. This license is not that easy to get. In Chinese government, just like our United States government, there is going to be corruption. So it's about who you know to get this license. And I saw the social responsibility, and then I saw stakeholder in one of the other parts of the website on doing my research. And that set off a light bulb in my head of a group of the most powerful world political leaders and CEOs of the biggest corporations called the World Econ Forum. Those words, those keywords, stakeholder, social responsibility, is the main platform that they are pushing. If you've not heard of the World Econ Forum, well, let's just go to their website. This is what I did in the live stream. And if you scroll all the way down to partners and you click on our partners and go into it to the list and you go to the A's, you will see AMTD. And I'm going to press back on this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So on this list of the World Econ Forum's partners, we have Amazon right here. We have Abbott Laboratories. We have AARP. We have American Heart Association. AMTD's right there. Apple, Asia World Group, Alibaba Group, which is Baba. We've got a whole who's list of all the most powerful people in the world, and that was just the A's that AMTD is a part of. We can keep scrolling down here just to show you how powerful this group is. You'll see in the G's, you go right here, Google. Okay, we know Google and Amazon, two of the biggest corporations in the world, both of them a part of the World Econ Forum. But what is the World Econ Forum, you ask? Well, all you had to simply do is either Google the World Econ Forum, which it'll tell you right here, is an international, non-governmental, BS, and lobbying organization based in Geneva, Switzerland. It was founded in 1975 by German engineer and economist Klaus Schwab. And Klaus Schwab has some books on Amazon, his most recent book, Shaping of the Future of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, as well as the Fourth Industrial Revolution, his other older book. If you feel like giving more money to the people who has already taken your money, go right ahead and go buy the books on Amazon, but they have a YouTube channel that you can also go check out. And just 10 hours ago, they streamed about, guess what? Financial inclusion, addressing the largest gaps, Davos. They have been streaming and hardly anybody has been paying attention. This video was put out 10 hours ago and it has only 1,000 views. Right now, while all these world leaders are sitting here live streaming on YouTube right under all of our noses, they only have 764,000 subscribers. Meet Kevin, who puts out false information, has 1.8 million subscribers. So this is how asleep the whole entire world is on this massive powerhouse. They've literally been live streaming nonstop, and this is something I've been talking about for 3 years. They even have a video here, what is the Great Reset? You can go and learn about the Great Reset there. Or if you go back to the same website where you find AMTD, you can go and find the Great Reset right smack dab on the World Econ Forum website. What is the Great Reset? This is going to see, you're going to see some keywords. There's an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. To improve the state of the World Econ Forum is starting the Great Reset. So everybody who thought that this was conspiracy, it's not. They've been right out in public telling us. You can find all this information, links in the description below, or just look right there. But old Klaus Schwab, the guy who started this, was born in Germany during Nazi Germany. This is the fellow right here. And if you haven't heard this term yet, this is where the term came from, directly from his mouth. By 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. Okay, so go learn about who Klaus Schwab is, what type of economist he is. This is all on Wikipedia, so you got to do more digging than just Wikipedia, because you can see right here at the top, this article has multiple issues. However, do not just throw this article out the window. Actually read what this writer had to say, because right down here in criticisms, you will see multiple things where corruptness going on. Salary level, lack of financial transparency of Klaus, capture of democratic structures and institutions, and controversy with Davos municipalities. His whole thing, the stakeholder capitalism, to put it short, you own shares in a company as of now if you buy a stock. That will be pretty much done away with, and every company will have a stakeholder. And the stakeholders is everybody. We would all be stakeholders together in one global government of every single company, all connected as one. I would be a stakeholder, H&H would be a stakeholder, your neighbors would be stakeholders, and then also they consider like the climate almost as a stakeholder. It's the most progressive idea that has ever been put together, this whole Great Reset, and this group of people, the most powerful this group of people that's ever been put together, and it's already happening. So this is the power that is behind AMTD. This is their official partners, the biggest, the baddest around the whole entire planet. That's what I was pointing towards, that volume, lower profile. Obviously they were buying this up. Now AMTD, what did we see earlier? It's larger cap than McDonald's. They did not become larger cap than McDonald's because of retail traders or FOMO. This was a direct pump to get them to that price level. And now, I mean, talking about trading against Elon Musk with Twitter, this is the equivalent. You're trading against the World Econ Forum. So you can probably get day trades and stuff off of this, but just know at any time the rug could get pulled. Or, I mean, they have enough power. If they wanted to, they could just shut the stock market down. I don't think it's going to come to that, but this is who we're dealing with. HH, any thoughts on all that?
Man, I'm just sitting with my popcorn, me and everybody else that's in the Discord. Shout out to the Discord, Donnell, everybody that comes in and drops what they're seeing in the market. We all got our popcorn waiting for this thing to doop, drop.
Yeah. There's probably going to be some type of rug pulling. There's going to be chaos on this.
So, like the other article that we read, this just isn't a good idea for anybody that is just now seeing this to say this is the top of the top of the top of the top. You know how we say don't buy the top? This right here is a perfect example of a top you should not buy.
Exactly. Exactly. And something I forgot to point out earlier, real quick. If you went to Yahoo and looked, they were already at 23% held by institutions. So that was that volume we saw coming in. Those institutions, which I'm sure those institutions are on this list.
Could you check on shortsqueeze.com if they're on there yet? They're not
Not
even on there
available.
yet.
Nope. Well, AT and AMTD is. It's on
Short interest.
shortsqueeze.com. Doesn't look
It's in,
like very much.
yeah, they haven't reported anything on the short percent float or anything like that. They're not even they're not even reporting it.
Well, when you're the most powerful, you don't have to report. I mean, who's going to keep them beholden to U.S. Nasdaq law? I highly doubt. Actually, I know for a fact Klaus Schwab doesn't give two old Nancy Pelosi Taiwanese cupcake farts about the U.S. government or their stupid regulations. Actually, you know what, guys? NASDAQ is a part of the list. I forgot to mention that. you, so AMTD is in partnership with the NASDAQ with the World Econ Forum. The rules are out the window on this one, guys. Appreciate everybody joining us as always. If you haven't yet, like HH said, go join the Discord now. Go check out HH Traders channel. Subscribe, like. Let's get him to 1,000 subs as fast as we can. And make sure to share, tweet, get this video out there to everybody, and the previous video about the monkeypox. And let's continue to expose the truth, because if we do not, then they are going to snatch our freedoms right out from under us. And not only that, they're going to snatch our money right out from under us. You guys stay safe out there. Always do your research. Until next time.